So let's practice this through. Okay,
Okay.
so thank you for meeting with me on this time. It's wonderful that we can get together. I know everybody's busy.
No
Can
problem.
you want to talk to me a little bit about the lesson that I'm going to come in and watch?
Yep, so we're getting into our standard in math of 7G6, so we're in our geometry unit, and we had just gotten done talking about two-dimensional, finding area, volume, or finding area and surface area. Now we're getting into surface area and volume for three-dimensional figures. So we have rectangular, triangular prisms, and cylinders that we're going to be finding the volume, using the formulas for.
Okay. What kind of prep work have you done to get ready for this with the kids?
Well, we've created all of our activities because we want them to not only know the formulas, but understand why and how you use the formula. So if they're given the volume, how do they find like a side length that's missing? So we've planned mini lessons on the smart board where it's interactive with the students, and then they'll do some practice, maybe some station work. We try to have that workshop model, not for every lesson, but we'll probably have it for this lesson.
Okay.
And as they're practicing, sometimes there's some mid-workshop and short, teaching points, just because you see kids, if everyone's kind of doing the same thing, we want to make sure that everyone hears the correct way to do something. And then at the end of the lesson, then we'll talk about their practice and we'll have an exit ticket.
Okay, very good. So if I'm hearing right, let me recap this. So we're moving into geometry.
Mm-hmm.
We've done some prep work moving into it. Now we're going with surface area.
Yep.
And we're going to, it sounds like we're going to do a lot of little different things where the kids are going to have some ability to move around the room and work on their own. Am I hearing that right?
Yes.
Work on their own after some direction from you. Okay. What do you want me to focus on when I'm in the classroom? Is there anything specific?
Yeah, because it's a workshop style class, we have a lot of, me circulating the classroom, but a lot of students interacting without me around.
Okay.
So we've worked really hard as a class so far this year to make sure that when they're working in their small groups, of course they're staying on task, but also just encouraging each other to learn more. So I like to, maybe focus on the student interactions that are going on.
Okay.
And also, because I have the opportunity to meet with different groups of students at different times, I like to make sure that, first of all, I'm not asking like a ton of questions, but to make sure that the questions I ask are questions that are going to provoke them to get a deeper understanding. Not just like on the surface questions like 3 plus 4. What is that? Questions that are going to, get the gears turning and kind of even developing new ideas with them.
Okay. I think that sounds like what you want to talk about is I see kids working around the room, and you want to how they're doing when they're not being working with you specifically. Maybe a little bit of domain 2B, the environment for learning, creating that environment for learning. We can look at that, how the kids interact and how they understand that their work is purposeful, that it's got to be solid, and maybe go from there. And then the questioning piece, I like that too as well. A lot of times as a teacher, you want to spend that time talking to them and guiding them to the answers, when really the best kind of learning they do is when they talk to each other and they clarify their answers. So, so that sounds good.
And also, they can, at their stations, they can look at the answer. I have the answer key on the back at the stations. So we've also done a lot about, don't just write anything down and then look at the answer. So they've gotten really good at that, but it's kind of that time of year where you want to make sure that they're still staying on top of that. And
a little bit of engagement coming in on that.
Right. And we also have a learning strategist in our classroom during the lessons. So just, having him in there is awesome to have this workshop style, and also to be in the science classroom. We have a lot more space.
Okay, yeah,
So
definitely.
nice.
That is nice to have. Okay, is there a specific area of concern or anything that you would like for me to look at specifically beyond that?
Yeah, because we have such a huge variety of abilities in our class, I just like to make sure that every activity that we do is appropriate for all of the learners, that all of them are, you know, my goal for every lesson is that everyone is successful.
Okay.
So I guess just kind of taking a look at those activities, I really do, you know, as a team, we plan them, we think really hard about them and make sure, but just kind of your advice on that is your input will be appreciated.
Okay, very good.
And yeah.
All right. What, so what would be a good time for me to come in and observe you? Is there a time or an hour that would work best for you?
Yeah, we just had our team meeting, so next week, I mean, Tuesday or Thursday.
Okay.
Thursday would work
Let's,
too.
Thursday sounds good. Okay.
And my D block is definitely my most diverse. So.
Okay, that would be a good time. I think that would be a really good time to come in and see that, especially with the concerns you have about the different levels of ability. It might be nice to see how your instruction is geared towards making sure all their needs are met. We can look through that. And then afterwards, we'll do a post-observation, and we'll confer on that. Is there a day and time that works best for you on that?
Really, anytime. We could do, you know, during prep. We could do after school. We could do after. Wait, you teach A and B or B?
Friday. Let's do Friday morning.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to doing this observation.
Yeah, thank you. I look forward to having you.
Great.